Aren't we happy we have Dick Blumenthal in the U.S. Senate? Thank you, Dick. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce somebody who is a friend to many, many people in this room. I know many of you have supported him over the years, and that is because he has supported us. Our governor has been a tremendous supporter from day one of all things that are important to our community, and he has made some really courageous decisions in the last 2 years, and I know he's here today to honor us with a few words about the important work that Lambda does. Governor Dan Malloy.
Thank you, John. Listen, it's great to be with everybody. Every year, this is probably the best, most fun fundraiser in Fairfield County. Kathy and I have been doing this for years. Actually, we had the third one at our house a number of years ago. So it's great to be with everyone. This has been a momentous period of time in Connecticut's history. We've done just about everything we can do, and if you have some ideas, we'll do those too. I'm looking for new things, but let me know how we can level the playing field further. That's what we're all about. We have a young man who's going to get up and say a few words, and he's aptly named, I might add, but he's going to say a few words about his experience. This idea that anyone in any religion or any set of beliefs should have the authority or power to designate or control how someone else lives is just wrong. And imagine a mother raising at the time, 16-year-old son to be brave enough to wear a T-shirt that appropriately declares that Jesus didn't create homophobes, and then to win the right, after being denied the right to wear that shirt to school, on the basis that homophobe was somehow a sexual term, as opposed to a appropriate description of people who would take their own judgments and their own interpretation and impose it on other people, is very significant. So, Maverick, thank you very much for what you've done, and good luck. This is not a political event, although I noticed that just about everyone was introduced as a Democrat. In fact, everybody was introduced. But I do want to say one thing about Congressman Chris Murphy, who is with us. There are dividing lines in our politics. And the dividing lines are pretty clear about what could or might or couldn't happen in our nation. We've made a lot of progress in the last 10, 12 years. And I have to tell you that I fear that some of that progress isn't as secure as we would all like it to be. 4 states, by the way, have same-sex marriage on the ballot. I think we're going to win in Maine. I talked to my good friend Martin O'Malley in Maryland. He thinks they're going to win there. I don't, there's a couple of other states where I doubt that we're going to win, but I hope we do. And Washington State, Minnesota is the Republican one. And actually Maryland is the Republican one, but Maine is but we've got to be very, very vigilant about what we do, what we say, how we act when it comes to politics. And I just have to say, Chris Murphy has done the right thing year after year, and he may not. Well, let me put it this way: he's deserving of my support, and I couldn't be more supportive on the issues of center importance in this room today. So thank you, Chris, for taking time out from the Senate race to be with us.
Lieutenant Governor, who does in fact have better legs than I do, is here. This is a room filled with people who understand good partnerships. And I couldn't have a better partner in the state government of the state of Connecticut than Nancy. She's just tremendous and cares about everybody in this room. Richard Blumenthal, thank you for what you do. Final point. What they decided to talk about was bullying. We've passed some momentous legislation in Connecticut over the last couple of years on identifying and protecting people's rights quite frankly, letting people define their own relationships, and protecting the decisions of people in making those definitions. But this whole issue of bullying, which will be spoken about, is also very important. And there again, Connecticut has passed leading legislation requiring not just teachers, but administrators, custodians, school nurses, social workers to report bullying in the school. We know that a lot of that bullying is directed at people based on their sexual orientation. So we're going to do everything in our power, including requiring people to receive appropriate training and standing with wonderful people like Maverick to make sure that we make progress on this issue. Now, final point, if you have not written out a check, if you somehow snuck by the front door, you didn't bid on something, or you didn't buy a pair of shoes, lighten up. Lighten up and write that check. This is a great organization. Kathy and I have supported it over the years. Do your job. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Governor. We really appreciate you coming out during this busy season to support all of us. Each year at this event, we've always framed our program to highlight Lambda Legal's spectacular work in particular fields of the LGBT rights movement. Focusing on healthcare rights and access in 2010, we were awed by Lambda Legal's plaintiff, Janice Langdon's testimony and tenacity and courage in addressing the discrimination she and thousands of LGBT people face in hospital settings. Through her and Lambda Legal's efforts, no one will ever face the cruelty and discrimination she and her family faced. Few who were here that year will ever forget her amazing speech. And last year, looking at Lambda Legal's dedication to ending employment discrimination on the basis of gender identity or expression, we honored plaintiff Vandy Beth Glenn and Connecticut's own Rachel Goldberg. This year, we decided to focus on Lambda Legal's work for LGBT youth rights. The power today of LGBT youth is amazing, and everyone at Connecticut Cares was inspired to honor them. You'll hear shortly a few examples of the success that we've achieved in those fields. But since this event is also about celebrating Connecticut's leadership, we would also like to acknowledge the outstanding work of our local organizations and community members who are out there day in, day out promoting the well-being of LGBT youth. The first Connecticut Care Awards we would like to present goes to a very deserving organization called True Colors. Founded in 1992, based in Hartford, True Colors worked with numerous social service agencies, schools, and organizations to ensure that the needs of LGBT youth are both recognized and met. The organization trains more than 2,400 people annually, organizes the largest LGBT youth conference in the country, with more than 2,000 attendees. And they also manage the state's only LGBT mentoring program. It's my honor to present this award to True Colors founder and executive director, Robin McLean.
My name is Robin McCallan. I'm the Executive Director of True Colors, and we do education and advocacy for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, intersex, queer, questioning, two-spirit, same-gender living, pansexual, bisexual, not straight, not labeling, straight-ish, straight so far, straight with options, straight when stuff happens, gender bending, gender lending, gender queer, pan-gendered, multi-gendered, bi-gendered, and other sexual and gender minority youth. Can you tell we work with teens? I am so honored to accept this award on behalf of True Colors, and I want to just tell you one really quick story. The truth is, we believe that True Colors has changed the landscape for LGBT youth in Connecticut, but we got there in part, in strong part, because of the work of Lambda Legal. Back in 1999 and 2000, Lambda did a survey of 14 states to look at the impact, what were the situation for LGBT youth in out-of-home care. And what they found was that Connecticut was sort of ahead of the curve for most of the other 14 states that they looked at, but there were some specific issues that were missing. And so they joined with us to go meet with the Department of Children and Families and say, hey, you guys are doing all right, but there's some places where you're really missing. And Christine Regalia, who was the commissioner at the time, said, you're right. And she helped us create, with Lambda Legal support, the Safe Harbor Project. The Safe Harbor Project has found homes for dozens of LGBT youth. We've helped Connecticut be the only state in America that not only includes sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, but intersex in their non-discrimination language. They now have liaisons in every DCF office to work on, to be a support for the LGBT youth in their care. And that is at least in no small part due to the efforts of Lambda Legal on behalf of the needs of LGBT youth. So although I am honored and grateful for this award, I am mostly grateful to Lambda for the work that you do to make a profound difference for our kids. Thank you very, very much.
Our second Connecticut Cares Award recognizes a committed individual who continues to volunteer countless hours to supporting transgender and gender nonconforming young people, as well as their families and friends across Connecticut, New York, and New England. Tony Ferrarella is a certified life coach and transgender youth advocate based in New Haven. In 2008, Tony started several support groups, including Translation for transgender teenagers and Create Yourself, and our group for transgender and gender nonconforming children under the age of 12. He is also the co-founder and president of the Jim Collins Foundation, a nonprofit organization that raises money to fund gender-confirming surgeries. For his efforts, he was nominated this year for the White House Champions of Change campaign. And we are proud to recognize Tony's work with this award on behalf of Lambda Legal and the Connecticut Cares Committee.
So I thought I'd take a couple of minutes to just talk a little bit about what we do in New Haven. And I say we because I don't do this work alone. I have volunteers that come in and help with facilitating the groups. Also the space that we use is donated, and a lot of the art supplies for the young kids are donated too. So what do we do in New Haven? We give transgender youth and their families hope. And one of the ways we do that is with our teen support group Translations. And typically, when a trans youth starts this group, they come into this group beaten. Not broken, but beaten. And they're beaten down by things such as depression, anxiety. Some of them are actually cutting themselves. Some of them have suicidal thoughts, and some have actually attempted suicide. And all of that doesn't come because they're transgender. A lot of that happens because people are telling them, no, you're not. So the first thing we do is we tell them, we believe you, right? Kind of simple. But we also tell them we believe in you. And something amazing happens when somebody starts believing in you. You actually start believing in yourself, right? And when you truly believe in yourself, I mean truly believe in yourself, you are unstoppable. And that's what we witness over and over again. We watch these children go from hopelessness to hopefulness just by affirming their gender. You know, I have to say that it's really an honor for me to do the work I do. I am honored to be a part of their life and a part of their journeys. So I thank Lambda Legal today. This award means so much to me. Thank you. Thank you very much.